And let me kind of bring you first and give you a little bit of information about who we are and how this connects with the real estate cycle. All right, our company has had a variety of entities that were holding companies and acquisitions companies over the years. We're HIS Capital Group and HIS Capital Funding. Those are the two main companies, and we have obviously a conglomerate of other entities that are for other strategies. We actually began as real estate investors, just like you. Okay, we bought, we fixed, and we sold properties. We bought, fixed, and leased, and then we actually dove into commercial. Now, one of the things that I want to share with you is kind of the story of how I got started, because when I got started about, 12 years now, of course I was 4 years old, by the way, when I started. At least one of you guys got that. Well, when I started in the industry, to be quite frank with you, I had absolutely no experience, but I just knew that real estate seemed to be the wealth builder for most of the people. In fact, when I went to Forbes and I went online and you looked at some of the assets of the wealthiest people on the planet, the majority of them had real estate in the category. So I knew that I wanted to do something. The problem is, what do you think my problem was? No knowledge and no what? No money. That's a very good recipe for failure, is it not? So I couldn't even afford a training like you folks have done to actually get educated in the process. To be honest, I don't have any money at all. So what I decided to do was, I was in Tampa, Florida at the time, and I decided that the best thing for me was to go work for somebody who was doing it. And maybe by hanging out with them and working for them, I could learn the business. Would you guys agree that makes sense? You have no money, might as well work, right? Only one problem. When you have no experience, nobody wants to hire you, which I learned very quickly that was the case. So I finally met this guy, probably about 78 years old at the time, had a kind of an office that's been there for at least 25 years, and you could tell that it's been there for 25 years because it looks like it's 25 years old. And but one of the things that I liked about him is he had departments. It was almost like a circle in his office. And you'd begin with acquisitions team, management that was dealing with renovation, accounting, bookkeeping. I mean, it literally was a system all the way around, like an assembly line in his office, and I loved it. So I said, look, I have no experience, but I will not sleep. I will work. I will commit to you. I will perform for you. I just want to learn this business. And he said, son, I'm sorry, but there's 5 other guys that I just talked to and interviewed, and they actually have experience. So the time that it's going to take me to train you, I can't afford it. I need somebody that knows how to go out there and make offers for me. They were doing about 15 properties a month. So I did the next best thing. You guys want to guess what that is? I told them I will work for free. Just teach me. I will become your intern for the next 3 to 6 months, whatever I can do. Thank you. All right. So I began working with this gentleman. 2 big things to note. First and foremost, I fell in love with not the real estate business, I fell in love with the systems business, because he had a system in place which was able to give him an actual repetitive, consistent return for his investments. You guys follow me? Yeah. That was critical. I will tell you another thing I learned. I do not want to do business like that man. And I will tell you that there is a level of doing business and getting right prices, and then there's a level of sleazebag that's taking advantage of people, and that just doesn't connect with my personality or my convictions. So that's another thing I learned, which was very important in my beginning of my career, which to learn how not to do things so that you don't take advantage of folks. You guys would agree that that's a fair statement? If anybody here has another opinion, that's okay. I just felt that did not connect with me very well. Another thing that I found very interesting is, as I started the acquisitions, I started learning very quickly the business, and I would go out there and I'd work extra hard. In fact, I think I spent more time training and doing things than most of the employees that were getting paid to do it. Within 6 months, I had made the man over $78,500 and change in profits of the business. Would you guys agree that's pretty good for a newbie that has no experience? Absolutely. Guess what he paid me for that? Nothing. So 6 months later, I said, look, I think I've proven myself at this point that I'm an asset to your company. And in that discussion, he further confirmed that obviously I should not be there any longer. So we parted ways and we shook hands, and I said, I respect you for your business. Thank you for the opportunity, but I'm going to go on my own. So needless to say, 6 months after this incredible internship training, I came across another obstacle again. What do you guys think that is? Money. I have experience, but I still don't have the money. And would you guys agree that money is critical? Yeah. Absolutely. So I did what I knew best. I started looking for opportunities. I started putting these properties under contract. And then I would look for who? I would look for buyers. And funny enough, I was successful enough to do one off, two offs, and little by little, as I started getting reserves, that's when I started opening my eyes to, you know what, I'm going to start using the systems that I learned over there to actually make this a machine that generates profit every single month.